Roll call.
Mayor Hicks?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Quintana?
Here.
Councilor Sandoval?
Here.
Councilor Dickens?
Here.
Councilor Lewis?
Here. Please stand and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah. Review the agenda. I'll accept the motion to approve
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
it. Second. Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Kevin Dobbs, you're up first, baby.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I appreciate you listening to me. As you guys know, that the bike rally's coming up. Main Street's been working hard to come in under budget. Unfortunately, that's kind of put us in a little bit of a spot where we have to come before you and ask you a couple things. I put Sergeant Marcus in charge of that this year. As I've taken on new duties, I passed some of those duties down to him halfway through. He would like to speak to you if that would be okay.
As the chief said, I've been assigned the task of coordinating security for this year's rally. As of today, I've scheduled 10 outside agencies to assist. This breaks down to 20 officers Thursday, 25 officers Friday day, 30 officers Friday night, 25 Saturday day, 30 officers Saturday night, and 20 officers Sunday. These agencies are not reimbursed for their travel and or their time here. A combined estimated total of $16,000 is spent by these agencies to keep our community and the patrons who attend the rally safe. That being said, I'm here to request funds be given to the Main Street to feed our cops. After donating 4 long days of travel and time, the least we can do is pay for their lunch. Main Street and I have worked well together to this point, but have yet to come to some sort of an agreement regarding the food. I will say this, the board members have helped in getting officers extra drinks and snacks. They are also providing our officers with water. But it is not enough to keep these men and women going for 8, 10, and 12 hours. I'm requesting $1,500 be given to Main Street so that we together can purchase lunch for these officers. Subway has offered 6-foot subs for $74 to assist in our last-ditch effort to feed these guys. These subs normally run $90 a sub. With the money given, I will be ordering 2 6-foot sandwiches a day for the first responders. The total comes out to a little over $600. The remainder of the money will be towards chips, drinks, snacks, and ice. We're going to need a lot of ice because the fire department's ice machine is down. That's how we keep those drinks cold. The reason I'm before you in this manner is because Main Street in the past has provided food for our officers the entire duration of the rally, but has denied our request this year as they are attempting to stay on budget, which is understandable. Until recently this year, Main Street agreed to feed our officers who are donating their time and has since decided against feeding them, leaving us no time to make any other arrangements. Again, I realize this is unorthodox, but it's an absolute last resort effort.
Question. Did Main Street give you a reason why?
Yeah, I can answer that. They're trying to come in under budget.
But that's it right there?
Yeah, yes, sir. They're trying to come in under budget, and I've explained to them that these departments send their guys and they don't charge the city for sending them over here to help us out. The only compensation they get is a free meal whenever they come over here, because I mean the prices are kind of high at a special event like that. And I'm not saying it's just at the bike rally. You go to State Fair, you're going to pay $7 for a corn dog or whatever also. But you're having these guys come over here and we restrict them to the rally. Whenever you're posted there, you're posted there. We can't have everybody going around and anything like that. What it comes down to is like he said in his letter there, is they donate $16,000 worth of services to us in manpower and stuff like that. All they're asking for is, hey, you know what, give them a meal. And these guys sign up. They're given the opportunity at their departments to sign up. We treat them well. We're going to keep them coming back, and we always have. It's kind of a standard that we've set for the last how many ever years that the bike rally's going on. Over 13, 14 years now. And so these guys come over and they say, okay, we get a stay hydrated and we get a lunch. We don't provide that to them. We're gonna be kicking ourselves in the butt next year whenever they're saying, I don't know, we didn't kind of want to go there anymore because they didn't treat us well. I think the city of Grant's treating these people well, sets a standard for us, and that's all we're asking, guys. Just give them a sandwich.
Anything else?
I have a question, Louis.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Just for the general public to know, what law enforcement agencies will be assisting us?
I'll defer to Sergeant Marcus.
We're utilizing the assistance of Western New Mexico Corrections Facility, Sandoval County Sheriff's Department, the CCA Women's Facility SORT team, which is 9 members. Sandoval will send 2, they go home. They'll send 2 others, they'll go home. They'll send 2 more. So Sandoval is sending quite a bit. New Mexico State Police Motorcycle Patrol Unit, which is 6 to 8 members coming in from around the state. New Mexico State Police District 6, which is in this area. Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, they're sending 5 gang task force members, which is critical at this point in time. They're going to identify any problems that they see either coming or that may arise during the bike rally. We're also using CCSO, Bosque Farms, Valencia County is sending 4 deputies. Let's see who else. I think Western is sending up to 9. We've extended the invitation to everybody, and they are, to this day, at the last minute, confirming that they're going to come. So there could be a possibility that McKinley County, Laguna, Acoma, some other
Do
agencies.
we need all of these guys? Do we actually need all of these guys? How many viable incidents have we had at the bike rally in 13 years, guys, where we need this many cops?
Yes, sir, we do. It's not.
Here's my point. Hang on, Chief Doss.
Yes, sir.
Last year, we had state cops writing our citizens tickets for cracked windshields when they're trying to go through town to get to work. Okay? We have state cops stopping our citizens for a burned out tail light. They're here to watch the bike rally, not to bust our citizens' butts. I got a problem with that, guys.
We've addressed that issue, Mayor, with Main Street. I mean, if you'd like, we're
I don't want you to address it with Main Street. I want
No,
you to
no,
address
no,
it with
the
the
issue-
cops that are doing this, guys.
I understand, sir. Where I was going with that is they brought that to our attention, these issues that the citizens are bringing to them and to yourself, and we understand that. They're here to have a good time, and we're putting on this event. We're gonna
making
take
it
care of.
miserable for the people that are here and the people that live here by bringing in these outside agencies that are nailing our people for nothing, guys. Go ahead.
If I may, that was an issue, and I also did see it as an officer last year. I realized that we had too big of teams. It was intimidating. Like you said, some of these guys were not so friendly to the community, nor the patrons that come in. So this year, we've dwindled it down. The numbers are down. It's a big difference. In addition to that, you will not see a team larger than 4 officers together. The majority of the teams are 3-man teams. It's going to be a diverse team. It's not going to be one particular agent who will get comfortable with one another and feed off one another and start to, like you said, cite everything. I mean, we're going to have a diverse team, and we're also going to be implementing just smile, shake a hand, play nice. We're
Exactly,
implementing
because
it.
I'll tell you one complaint I did get from Angela Baca. Okay, we realize that the banditos come in here. We have banditos that live here, okay? And she had a group of them go into her restaurant, and they sit down, they've got the big table, there's 8 of them there. And out-of-town cops come in, they enter her business, they don't order nothing, they go stand in the corner and they stand there and stare at them until they leave. This is the kind of stuff we do not want, guys. That's what my next question was, is what are the numbers compared to the past bike routes as far as cops go?
As far as the past bike rallies go, I'd have to compare numbers on it exactly, but I know that it's way less this year. We haven't had the cooperation from everybody, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. The more, in my mind, I'm thinking the more people we got there in case a disaster happens, the better off we are. But as you said, you know, we show a big show of force. That way something doesn't happen. And each year it adjusts to how big the bike rally is. It's been kind of going down and going down and going down, so we've been bringing in less and less and less officers. My biggest fear, Mayor, is if we have some type of big incident and we don't have the manpower to keep the citizens safe. And that's the reason for the numbers, not to go out there and harass these guys. We want them to have a good time. We want them to come in, and I'm sorry to say it, but in our eyes, we want them to come in and spend their money and make our community more attractive to people whenever they come in. And I think you guys all can agree on that. Throttling them back, you know what? That's not going to be an issue. I can do that. I'll let them know, hey, you know what? Uphold the law, because we're not going to uphold the law. But you know, relax on the things that need to be relaxed on. And I think most people can look at a situation and say, you know what, this guy needs a ticket or this guy don't. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to tell you guys, hey, don't be doing your job. But I will tell them, hey, you know what, it's a special event. People are here to have a good time. Use good judgment. And I can do that for you, Mayor. And I have also told Main Street that I can do that for them, because that helps them out too, trying to bring people in. And I understand that if we're just hammering them, that's going to drive them away. And that's not what we want. We just want it safe.
What's standard practice at other bike rallies?
I've never been to another bike rally. I've just always done this one for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been an officer here.
Maybe that would be a good idea.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Your Sarge there to Red River, to one of these other bike rallies, and go hang out and look around and walk with them guys. You guys got anything else? Any other questions?
Offering will help and assist them for
Yes.
the bike rally. I mean,
What I'd like to do is see what they're doing.
and to see what they're doing, you can do that at the same time.
Yes, sir, our numbers are up now, and we can start doing things like that. Thanks to you guys.
We could also get Main Street to start putting this in their budget also, so that you wouldn't have to go to.
Absolutely, and I think that's where the problem was, and I discussed it with Paul. And next year, I think what we're going to do is we're gonna any monies that we get going towards them, maybe we can as a city say, hey, this much is to feed the cops. That way, we're not in front of you begging for money, guys. I mean, I hate doing this, and I know it's last minute, but it just came down to it.
No problem. Eddie, Michael, you got anything?
Main Street's passing off this bill to the city council that they have been covering in the past, and I understand they're trying to meet their budget, but this is, it's just passing the bill to us rather than keeping it like they've had
We're
it
gonna
in the
pay the
past.
bill, okay? We're gonna feed them because we want them here, and I'm like you. I'd rather have them here and something not go down than not have them here and have a major incident that we can't deal with.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we want them there, we will feed them, but I want them to tone it back, guys. I don't want them in our citizens' faces.
I'll be there
don't want 'em-
personally. Mayor.
Yes, okay, make sure they get that message. These people are here to have a good time. We don't want them hassled. Now, they're drunk on a bike, you nail them.
Yes, sir.
One of our citizens is drunk in a car, you nail them. But come on, a ticket for a windshield,
You guys will see a difference when
and
you
I
reverse
believe we will.
smaller
Okay?
teams.
I think the reason we
You will see a difference this year.
haven't had issues is because of the good law enforcement, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have we thought about putting anybody in plain clothes? We're doing that?
We're not going to talk about that here.
That works for me. Thank you. Thank you, guys, we'll feed them.
With that, Mayor, I move that we,
Yeah, we'll feed them.
Except-
Do you want to hear from anybody from Main Street?
It's under the plan, and Paul can sign.
Well, just to let the council and the citizens know in support of that also, so I think it's a good idea.
We'll just take care of it.
Just, they come to help us and.
We'll take care of it.
Thank you, sir.
Did you want to hear from anybody from Main Street, or?
We're good with it, Tom. If you want to stand up and talk, sure, come on up.
No, I didn't even
You
know. if
bet
it
you,
was
come
gonna
on
be
up,
here
man.
tonight, so.
The more the merrier. That's why we're here. We're here to listen to you guys, not to shut you out.
Okay, no problem. No, and we just want to make sure that nobody thinks it's any kind of retaliation for the cops or we're trying to downsize them by not feeding them. We're just trying to stick by our budget, and we are providing them with all the water throughout the weekend.
That's
they can
fine.
drink. And we also provide them $500 for snacks, and we're letting them choose their own snacks. And just to make it clear, it's not just they get a free meal, they are being paid, I think it's time and a half. So they are being paid for the event, so, you know, it's
Are
not,
you guys paying it or are their agencies?
no,
paying
their
it?
agencies are paying.
Okay, well,
So,
yeah.
and it's nothing against the
free
police,
to us.
and
No,
I
that's
agree,
right.
I'd rather have them there than not have them there.
No
So I
sweat.
have no problem with that. And we're really not trying to pass the buck to anybody, we took a vote, and we just said we couldn't afford it this year, so.
Now Tammy's sitting there in the back telling me we can't. Tammy, stand up and tell me why we can't. For the record, Tammy Torres, our financial director, she's the one that keeps me in line and doesn't let me outspend my bounds, guys. Come on up, Tammy, tell me why. That's why we pay you. To keep me in line, without a doubt, bro.
On that, would have to give it to Main Street themselves, but we can't provide the meal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, yeah.
That's fine.
That's what they're
You go,
requesting.
bro, keep me in line.
So would that be an agreement with, continue what the one you guys just passed?
Yeah,
You know, because you guys gave them that $20,000 more
yes.
for this reason. So,
And
Exactly.
we did discuss the meals, and we did vote as a board, and it was voted not to feed the police officers.
Well, we can't because it's not on the agenda, it's just an item for function. But the thing about it is it's under the $5,000 bulk inside.
It's under-
Bulk
yeah, it's
inside,
under-
we're taking care of it.
yeah, I can-
It's just
I
gotta
can-
be Main Street that distributes it. We got it, guys.
I just wanted to
And
make sure
next
that
year-
we're council.
Yeah, next year we'll take care of it differently.
so is
Yeah.
that just gonna be a lump sum, or is it providing receipts, or how are you guys doing that?
We'll reimburse Main Street for the streets.
You tell me what you want.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably would have to be kind of probably an amendment to the contract you guys currently did, because we have to have it in the budget,
And the bike rallies this weekend.
yeah, so,
Well, why don't we, Mayor, why don't we go ahead and let Main Street put the bill, and we can at a later date reimburse them for the.
We just have to take it to the board again, because we're gonna have to do another vote, because like I said,
We'll
we
just,
don't
Three
do that.
measure meeting
all
for the bike rally.
we'll do, yeah, all we'll do is you get the receipts for these meals, and we will reimburse you that money.
Right, and like I said, I'm just speaking as one board member, so
Yeah,
I
no
can't,
problem, Tom.
I can't
We
say, yeah, we're
understand
gonna do
that.
that, we can bring it up at the next
Yeah,
board.
we understand that.
And vote.
I can guarantee you, the rest of the board members will probably agree with.
Yeah, they'll agree with it.
I won't make it guarantee, but we'll bring it up for sure.
But this should be a part of the whole, this part should be a part of the whole for next year.
Yeah,
Right, and
well-
this wasn't a surprise, it'd been, for a couple months, there were no meals, so it's not last minute. It was been discussed from the beginning, so. And I understand they had been in the past, it's just something, a new direction we were trying to take to.
Well, yes.
Because we cut the budget back quite a bit from last
Fork out
year.
12,000, 15, 20,000 at the end of every
And,
year.
and last year, I think the meals were $3,500 is what they paid out for meals, so it was,
Wow.
it was a substantial cut, we were just trying to cut the budget back on that.
Okay.
But we appreciate it. And we do appreciate you guys too, so, you know.
It hadn't been a few months. On June 24th, we were made aware that we weren't. So we've been working on it until today.
Actually, the meeting before you were there, we discussed it, and we said no meals there at that one time.
Actually,
The state police were there also.
Actually, you agree, well, we'll talk.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Ralph Lucero, fire hydrants. Where's my fire chief at? Well, fire chief ain't here, and I need him.
Mr. Mayor, gentlemen, I only have, can I make a comment about the bike rally?
You go right ahead, Ralph.
First of all, Red River is not a good place for these guys to go check it out, because that's the Bandidos mandatory run, and that is packed with Bandidos from everywhere. If you want to go see a bike rally, go to the one in Rio Doso in September. It's nice, mellow. Let me tell you, you don't see any police officers in Rio Doso at all. You know they're there because there's police cars parked everywhere. You never see them anywhere, but they're there. You know they're there. And I think that's the direction these guys should take. But that's another story.
Okay.
Now, my problem is that Mr. Haberger over there and I live right next to each other, and there's a big fire hydrant in front of his house, and it's covered with plastic. Well, the plastic's blown off now with all the wind. But as I've been cruising around, now that I was politicking, I saw like 4 or 5 more. So I went to the fire chief and I asked the fire chief, how come all these water hydrants are covered with plastic? And his comment was, says they don't work.
Some of them are because we disconnected them when we did the new streets route. And I know that the one over there by your house doesn't work. We got a couple more on that. We are working on that.
Yeah, well, that's my concern, because
Yes.
I think if my insurance company ever finds out about it, I might have to be paying a little bit more insurance. And I think the city should supplement my raising my insurance.
No, we've had that as a matter of fact, Ralph. We just put one in up on the Loma up here on Albert Street for the same reason. We are working on it.
Okay.
Okay, but a lot of them that you see that are covered, it's because we took them out of the rotation and we got new ones on the other side of the street. Like on Nimitz.
But my only concern is like on the one in.
Yes, I got you.
2 years.
We got
2
you.
years.
And believe me, Chief Hayes will hear from us now.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Shirley, I don't want to butcher your last name.
Try.
Bayek?
Greek.
Greek, I wasn't that bad off there. How are you, Shirley?
I'm fine. I understand you won't be making a decision on the city manager's position this evening?
No, we will not. I
Okay.
took the deadline today and I didn't expect to get as
All right.
much interest.
I'm
as I
still
got.
here in support of one of the 2 women that you had, that was shown on today's Beacon. Laura Jaramillo worked for us in the Tasty Freeze in the 1970s when she was in high school. She was reliable, hardworking, trustworthy, and she has never changed. If you want to make a decision for a terrific city manager, I wholeheartedly support her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I stayed about 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, on to the agenda. Public comment on our charter compliance. Anybody out there want to make a comment on our charter compliance? We are in compliance.
I'll make a comment. We are in compliance with our charter.
Thank you, Michael. Regular city council meeting minutes? Any changes? Any corrections? Are they good? I thought they were good.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept the regular city council meeting minutes for 6/17/2014.
Second?
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Next item is appointment of the city manager. I will ask that we table this. I've got Thursday blocked out for 7 interviews that I got today. I got a whole bunch of resumes today, the last day. And I'm gonna be fair to everybody. Everybody's gonna get an interview that applied for the job. I'm not just appointing somebody that is a friend of mine. Okay, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna look at everybody and we're gonna put a qualified person in that job.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend that at least one of the councilors be at these interviews because the council is actually the ones who are selecting the city manager.
No problem with that. You were at one of them already. I don't have a problem with it, guys. But I'm gonna give you my recommendation.
If they choose
If you
to.
don't like it, then we're gonna try again in 30 days, okay?
Mr. Mayor, I would also recommend that as soon as the interviews are over, that we call a special meeting and get this project
By the charter,
closed.
Mike, I've got to give you guys 7-day notice, okay? And what I was gonna do is I'll do these interviews, and on the 22nd, before I leave for California for my son's graduation, I will call each one of you, and I will give you the name that I want. And then on the 29th, that'll be 7 days. On the 29th, I will have a contract for that person, and I will be looking for approval at that point,
Sounds good.
okay? And then we'll move forward from there.
That's our next meeting.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons that we went to the 2-week schedule, a meeting every 2 weeks instead of a workshop, so that we can conduct business every 2 weeks. Okay? Anything else on that?
Mayor, I have a quick comment. I think it's a great idea that you're going to take the time to review the applicants that applied for this position. It's a very critical position for the city, and we really need to take a look and make sure that we're hiring the right person for this job, so that we can move forward as a city. And not saying that Paul did an excellent job, which he did at his position. Now bringing somebody else in, we really need to hire that right person, so thank you.
On that, I'll entertain a motion to table this till the 29th.
Make a motion to table the city manager.
A second.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, the next one is a resolution that I drafted to deal with the Forest Service and what they're trying to do with our mountains. So since it's the first one I've ever drafted, I'm gonna go ahead and read it into the record. Wars with ash and ruining public water systems. Whereas most of Mount Taylor Ranger District is already designated as a TCP, a traditional cultural property, and is protected under this designation. Now therefore be it resolved that the Grant City Council wholeheartedly supports total access to the Cibola National Forest Mountain Ranger Districts in their present designation as a multi-use, multi-purpose mountain ranger districts. Be it further resolved that the Grant City Council is strictly opposed to closing of any active roads or the designation of any part of the Cibola National Forest Mountain Ranger Districts as a wilderness area. I will take comment.
I got a comment. I wrote to the Forest Service supervisor, got an immediate response. I wrote to, what's his name, Champ Green, the guy who sends out the letters, got an immediate response. I wrote to every one of our federal representatives. I got one response. That was from Martin Heinrich, suggesting that I write to the Forest Service.
Well, this is what I say, guys. I say we pass this resolution. I've also got a cover letter that I've written. Denise, would you grab that for me, please, out of my mailbox in there in the office? And what I'd like to do with that is I'd like to put it into the comment for the Forest Service. Check it on the spell right, dude. I got a computer that's got spell right, though. Believe me, there's a lot of them misspelled. Any other comments on this, guys?
Well, for those of you who don't know why we're doing this resolution, the mayor and the city manager, myself, I don't know if any of the other councilmen were there at that Forest Service meeting, and they said it would carry more weight if the city councils, the village of Milan, the county commissioners all did a response to their proposal to do a wilderness area on the backside of Mount Taylor, namely the Guadalupe area. And that's why we're doing this resolution, that we're against a wilderness area. And anywhere in the Mount Taylor area, Zuni area, furthermore, any of Cibola National Forest, which our area is not the only Cibola National Forest.
It's us, Magdalena, Mountain Air. There's a few of us around. And part of their plan, if they get through with it, is to wilderness area these ranger districts. If they do that on Mount Taylor, guys, your Cuautlatlan goes away. Okay? Your ranching goes away, unless, of course, you can do it with horses. Mining is definitely dead. Logging is definitely dead. And then everybody knows what happened with the Wallow Fire and all these other fires in the wilderness areas. They burn up, then the towns pay that are close to it. And that's the last thing we need here. But here was a cover letter that I plan to send with this to the Forest Service. It's to Supervisor Elaine Corman, the one that's supposed to make the decision on this. The subject is the Forest Plan Revision effort. We, the Grant City Council, would like you to consider the attached resolution passed tonight at the regular City Council meeting as our comments in opposition to your draft assessment report. We, the Grant City Council, would also like you to consider that we represent the 8,000 plus citizens that live in the city limit. Our city's very economic life depends on accessibility to the Cibola National Forest Mountain Ranger Districts. And that is a fact, guys. Okay? Any other comments on this?
We gotta go with like 9,500 people.
Change it. Well, I was leaving the prisons out. Still the population. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and move forward with resolution 14-1455.
I second it.
Counselor Quintana.
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval.
Yes.
Counselor Dickens.
Yes.
Counselor Lewis.
Yes.
I thank you guys for your support on this, and I hope the citizens will appreciate it. Okay?
At the same time, we do recognize that there are citizens that disagree with us, and there are certain items in this resolution that I don't agree with. But overall, the last two sentences that say we don't want a restricted area up there, I agree with it, and so that's why I'm supporting it. Although I understand, that a four-wheeler is like running two chainsaws through the forest. And there are restrictions that someday I hope we enact, but at this point, I think this resolution is necessary.
And on that note, I want to comment to that, Mike. Right now in this state, we have millions of acres designated as wilderness areas. For the very limited amount of people that actually go and hike the Continental Divide Trail and use these wilderness areas, that they actually go in and walk in them, it is so disproportionate to the number of people that go up on that mountain every day and drive their four-wheelers and enjoy doing it. And I mean, if we're going to do something with our mountains around here, then we need to designate four-wheeler trails, not cut roads, okay?
Exactly.
We need to designate bike trails. But what they're trying to do is shut us out of the forest. And that is not good for our town. That kills our town, period.
Now, I see us utilizing Mount Taylor in the next 50 years as a way to increase tourism and recreation in our area, and I do agree with everything you said.
But there are conditions also. It could be extremely dry up there.
And they can close it.
That.
And they do close it.
They do close it.
They're just lifting the restrictions starting tomorrow.
Yeah, but there are extreme conditions. You shouldn't have four-wheeler out there. You can't have a fire.
Catch a fire, you drive up on it with a hot pipe and light it
Yeah.
on. Oh, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. But we can't have them cutting our access to the mountain. Okay? Next one. Discussion on the RFP for the golf course mobile home.
What is, okay, it's in the place. Okay, yeah, we got the RFP for the golf course. Were you handed the RFP? This one here. Did you have a copy for me? Denise, no copy for me?
I didn't get any.
I don't see the mobile home either. I gotta open it.
No, the mobile home, the mobile home is, Manny is asking, the mobile home was originally purchased by the city, and it was owned by the city, and it was put up there. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose was, but I know that the original superintendents of the golf course lived in the mobile home up there. Yeah, and then when the last superintendent that was up there was Alan Pribble, and he was when First Golf, which was a contractor for the city that was running the golf course, when they were relieved by the city, then that Alan Pribble, I think, moved out of that trailer and bought himself a home in Milan at that point. So then when Manny was contracted by the city to run the pro shop and the golf course operations, he ended up moving into that trailer and buying it from the city. And so what he's asking now is if the city is interested in buying that mobile home back from him.
From who?
Manny.
Manny owns the mobile home?
I thought it was ours.
No, he bought it from the city. The property belongs to the city, but the mobile home belongs to Manny.
Is that going out of Blue Valley?
We don't need that mobile home.
I mean, if we can use it, it would be for what the police department wants to do for their training, because we didn't get the portables. I mean, if it's something like that, that we could use it, but it would be under the group of value.
Yeah, it would have to be the appraised value.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to be the appraised value.
You know what kind of,
It's an 80s
kind
model.
of cost are we looking at?
I don't know. I
Haven't appraised it.
I wanted to find out, you wanted me to bring it before the city council and find out what your thoughts were on it.
I think before we move forward with it, we need to know what
What
exactly.
the price
Yeah,
is.
because the mobile home depreciates just like a car, so it wouldn't be worth much.
Where would we put it at for the cops to use it? Would we leave it right there where it's at?
Well, the other one it over there next to the police.
No, that ain't gonna happen. We can't put that.
If it's feasible.
That's not even zoned for that. We can't put a mobile home in there.
Well, then that's-
But you could train at the golf course, couldn't you?
Absolutely, we can train anywhere, Mr.
You
Mayor.
train anywhere, right? You know, that's what we used to do in the prison, sometimes out in the woods.
And Mayor, on that property, if you go out there, there is plenty of room for them to
Yeah.
utilize it. for
Throwing
training.
around, all that good stuff.
That was my plan, was just someplace where we can get some training and.
Yeah.
Is our, is.
Might even have a room for a wrestling room.
Properties are.
Yeah, property's ours.
What, up to the fence?
Yes,
On the hill?
yeah.
Yeah, all the way around that golf course.
Well, if we got a hill, Mr. Mayor, we'll use that too. We like.
No, there's a good distance of flat ground that you guys can do. It's a good piece of property.
Yeah, give us an appraised value on it, Paul. Okay. And then we can go from there. Okay. Yeah, and that would be a bad idea. Cost out the golf course once or twice a year.
Or that, do you all have a copy of the proposed, this isn't it?
The RFP for the golf course,
Where are those copies for the?
I never got a copy of the RFP.
No, I gave you a copy of the proposed RFPs that we were gonna do for the golf course that I wanted you to give to each of the councilmen.
I got a copy.
You got a
I don't have
copy?
it with me, but I did get a copy.
yeah, you gave us each a copy, Paul.
Yeah, and I wanted one in the packets too for the meeting. You guys each got a copy of that?
I got a copy, I don't have it here.
It's not here.
But I wasn't happy with the RFP the way it was.
No, that wasn't the RFP. What I was wanting to do was discuss how you want the RFP to go out. I had 3 different options there. I had the option of doing the contract for the entire golf course, including the maintenance, the pro shop, the whole thing. Then I had the option of
The option.
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
okay, and I had 3 options.
Keep going with
So-
all 3 of them.
Okay, so then the second option I had in there was the option of doing what was the second one? The second one was doing the pro shop, the restaurant, and all of that part of the golf course, where the city would be in charge of the maintenance part. And then I had one in there, which is basically what we have right now. The other one that I had in there was that the city, that we would just contract out the restaurant and the pro shop.
Okay, but what I wanted in there was a lease option. I wanted a lease option where we pay somebody to run the golf course. They bring in their own employees, they have the liquor license, they have everything. We pay them $100,000 a year, we give them 2 employees, the mechanic.
Well, that was the,
Okay, but I mean, in the RFP, it needs to say that we're
Yeah.
gonna lease it and we will pay them.
well, we still need to do the RFP.
Yes, okay.
We still need to do, I was just
That's
wondering,
the option.
at what level did you guys want? Did you want the whole golf course under private contract?
That's what I want, guys.
I would like to see all 3 options or even another one.
Yeah.
And then see how people respond, see how groups respond.
I don't know that they can bring their own license, liquor license.
No, it's our liquor license, but
Well, they'll
what
lease
we're
it
talking
from
about,
us.
when we lease it,
They'll lease
they
it
get
from
the
us.
liquor license and they make whatever money they can.
They lease it to us, part of the contract will be, of course, the city will be responsible for utilities. Okay, the city will be responsible for utilities, or, I mean,
And
depending
that's
on
what
what you
we're
want.
paying them.
Huh?
We're paying them to run a golf course, we're giving them $150,000 and 2 employees, and they can pay their own utilities. They can pay their own water. See, that's what we're
Yeah.
talking
Well,
about.
part of those utilities is because the golf course is land application for the wastewater
Yes.
treatment plant.
You betcha.
So actually, the pump house and
That'll fall under
stuff
the
there,
wastewater treatment
it
plant,
should-
not the
yeah,
golf course.
it should fall into that,
Yes.
yeah. So these are some of the things, these are some of the different items, and and I had in there, and I had prices and stuff on those things.
That's okay, have it ready for the next meeting. We still
Okay.
got August and
So,
September to get to
so
it.
what I'll do is I'll make sure, you said you got a copy of it?
Yeah, we got copies.
Did you all get
We got
copies of it, and you
copies.
looked over those, of those three proposals, yeah?
Just get us an RFP with all of them, and then we can go from there.
Paul, would you like us to make notes on what you gave us and send it back to you so you can build the RFP from our suggestions?
Well, that's what I want to find out. I want to find out at what level do you want, a contractor to come in? Do you want them to take over the whole golf course? They would be getting in there. There's some items in there that, there's a bunch of little items that we have to look at
Yes.
and put out there.
Because it's just like with the wastewater treatment plant. A lot of the wastewater treatment plant that's up there now is included in the golf course with the land application fee. When we do this with the new golf course, a lot of that's gonna go away because we're gonna be pumping clean water. And it's not gonna necessarily, it'll be clean water in those lagoons instead of, you know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff's gonna go, the lawsuits are gonna go away because we won't even need a discharge permit no more when we're putting out that type of water. Okay, so a lot of those things will change as this RFP goes through. Because once we move that wastewater treatment plant, it won't be part of the golf course no more except to get water to it. So, I mean, you bet.
Well, the affluent would still go to the golf course.
No. It'll be water. It won't be affluent because it'll be an A1 water. It'll be stripped out of the back. That's what we've been talking to Forest Smiths about. All the solids are taken out down below. And they're hauled off to some guy that's making Osmo coat or something, okay? And it'll be a clean water. It'll be an A1 water. It'll be one water below potable.
That's affluent.
Now, what we're doing right now is affluent. Go look at it.
The professional engineering report that we're going to begin on here pretty soon, we should, by the next city council meeting, we'll have an estimated cost of the PER, the professional engineering report. And that professional engineering report is what's going to give us the options for the different types of plants, for the different type of quality output, the different options of where to build the plant at, and it'll have in there also the cost associated with that. And so that PER is the document that will identify all of those things.
And everything on the PER and what we're doing there with the wastewater treatment plant, guys, is on the timeline, so that the minute that we pay these bonds off, we're in construction on the mill. Okay, and the old one will stay in function, because it's gotta be in function till the new one's complete, till we can bring it online. Okay?
So yeah, that's all going to be identified in the PER, and then decisions will be made at that time.
Okay. We're good on that one. Next one is a resolution for the homeless, Resolution 14-1453. Whereas pursuant to Section 3-18-1F, New Mexico 1987, the City of Grants has the authority to protect its inhabitants. Pursuant to Article 9, Section 14 of the New Mexico Constitution, the anti-donation clause, any municipality may make donations in furtherance of the care and maintenance of sick or indigent persons without violating the anti-donation clause. Whereas the city wishes to exercise its power to protect its inhabitants by making contributions from the public funds for the care of homeless people in Cibola County, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Grants, New Mexico, the city resolves to make a donation in the amount of $2,500 to the Transient and Homeless Coalition Initiative in Cibola County for the purpose of providing direct assistance to the sick and or indigent homeless people of Cibola County, with the condition that the initiative provide on the city's request an accounting of the initiative's use of the donation. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept Resolution 14-1453 with the correction of the spelling of donation on the top.
Donating?
Yep.
Second.
Donate. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Next one, Open Meetings Act. This one we have to pass every year. What are we changing it? Just our meeting dates?
Nothing
Changing
changed.
nothing there. I'll entertain a motion for the Open Meetings Act resolution.
Make a motion, we accept resolution number 14-1454.
Second. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Computer contract, municipal court. I gotta put in the judges here. You wanna talk to us about that, Your Honor?
Hi. Which contract is this for computer assets?
Yeah, maintenance contract for computer assets.
That is for, everything in the courthouse. It ranges from our phone to our security cameras, our server, our computers, everything. They maintenance everything for us. And they can do it either remote in through our system, or they can do it when they travel down here.
That's $870 per month.
Right, and half of that will be covered through the reimbursement through the automation that the court brings in. We have a certain amount allotted to the municipal court each year. So half of it, I've already spoke with April Sessions, who's in charge of each of those accounts for the individualized municipalities. And we will get half of that reimbursed every month. So the city will actually only pay like $4 something towards the contract.
Is it changed from last year?
It has not changed. It still has all the same like coverage, I guess, of the devices. It has not changed.
The same price?
That may have increased a little bit. Not drastic. They were gonna raise it 10% across the board, and we were gonna be paying like $1,000 a month. But when I asked them about it, they went back and said that they'll just keep it the same as what it was last year. But I think maybe the tax or something on that increased just a little bit by a certain percentage, so that would be the only increase.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the maintenance contract for computer assets.
Second. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Document Solutions Copier Lease, that one's yours too, Your Honor.
That one is mine also. So we currently lease with Rico, and Document Solutions has come in and they've given us a lower rate per month, a lower, I guess, cost on the copies, both black and white and color. And they are also going to give us a feature that we do not have right now through Rico, which is scanning capability, which will be really convenient for the court. And I also like that they're willing to come in and monitor our toners. They have somebody who's on staff that monitors toners by the region. So when we're getting low on toner, they can access that to their database and be able to send us out our toner. I think they just have a little bit more positive qualities, I guess, than what Rico has to offer right now. So I'm asking that you would allow for that contract to be accepted through Document Solutions. Contract with Rico ends August 30th, so we wouldn't make the switch until September 1st.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept this agreement with NOCNet Maintenance Service. Is that correct?
Documents.
Computers.
The computer assets is the one for our computer database server, and then the Document Solution, that would be our copier, our network printers, because we connect to that through all of our computers, fax machine, scanner, that's what that is.
That's what I was trying to say.
Document Solutions Incorporated.
Second.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Next. There you go. You got it.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Lease with the co-op, a resolution with the co-op, 14-1456. A resolution confirming the city of Grants to participate in the Department of Transportation Cooperative Agreement Local Government Road Fund Project. Whereas the city of Grants allocates from its gasoline tax fund or general fund that is as its local match to state funds. The city will have available funds representing the total cost of the proposed project and will be available when the agreement becomes effective. And whereas Exhibit A indicates the scope and locations of the proposed work. Therefore, be it resolved, the governing body of the city of Grants, New Mexico approves participation in the above amounts and scope of work for physical COIA program. Are you here for that, Eric?
I'm not prepared to speak on that.
Yeah.
Is this Second Street funds?
These are actually funds that we're allocating to College Road.
No, Mr. Manager, it's for improvements on citywide streets. Our MEP funds is for Second Street.
Okay.
No, for College Road Bridge? I
There
thought
it is,
this-
that's right. That's where we're using this money.
Is that the College Road Bridge?
Our College Heights Bridge, yes.
Co-op
Yeah.
Oh, no.
is for citywide streets.
Yes, that's
Is
where-
this, oh, this is for this year's co-op?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's for citywide streets, we
Yeah.
could use it on the bridge, that's what it's for.
Well, we have the other funds, but we are.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution,
I
guys.
make a motion
It's
to
money.
approve resolution number 14-1456.
I'll second.
Also, and with the correction of mayor, please.
You want to make it Mayo? Okay. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval? Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Okay.
208, around 208,000.
208, with our matching funds?
Our matching fund would be 25% of that. Yes, sir.
There we go. Now here's College Road Bridge. Holy cow.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, tonight I'll be introducing a task order for College Road Bridge. Wilson and Company's scope includes final preparation of construction drawings, specifications, engineer's estimate, and pre-construction activities. The bridge will be designed as a conveyance structure capable of passing a 50-year storm event beneath the road and handling the 100 vent overtopping the road. At this point, I'm asking council to consider approval of a professional design task order under the on-call agreement in the amount of $31,462.39. And I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have.
Who's the third party for the geotechnical investigation?
You know what?
Is that a sub?
That's going to be a sub-consultant.
So you don't know who it is?
We have established that, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, Mr. Mayor.
Anything else? You guys got anything on that?
Let's get this thing going.
I'll entertain a
Before we get
motion.
more green.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and move forward with this College Road Bridge engineering in the amount of $31,462.39.
Second.
Second.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
It's been
Thank you,
8 years in
gentlemen.
the coming for that bridge. Just so everybody knows out there, 8 years and a half. Wow, what a long time that was. Planning and zoning, you're up, Marty.
Mayor, council, Mr. Manager. This evening we've got the resolutions for the liens, the 5 separate liens that we've found our properties we've done abatements on to be eligible for. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, each lien has got to be voted on individually, independently. Each resolution, rather. So the first is resolution number 1452. Would you like for me to read the entire resolution, or do you have a, do you want me to do that?
No, I don't read the resolution. Everybody should have the resolutions right. I'll say the same thing, the only change is the number on them.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Name it, well, yeah.
These properties, do we have liens on any of the other ones? We've got, what, 54 that we've torn down?
Yes.
How many liens do we have?
This makes a total of 9.
This will be 9 liens?
Yes, sir.
Out of 54 properties we've broken down.
The others are questionable as far as the eligibility, and I hated to go ahead and set something in motion until I completely verified the eligibility as far as timeline, the statute of limitations that applies to.
Okay, because I'm asking about the very first buildings we tore down.
Yes, sir.
What property are we on?
No, the very first buildings we tore down were done in-house. There were the 4 up here behind McDonald's, and 2 up there behind McDonald's.
No. We tore down the ones by Future Foundations Family Center, then great big apartments.
Oh, you're exactly right.
Okay, those are the very first ones, because I pressed them.
Yeah, I came in, when I took the position I've got, at the tail end of the demolition of those. And so, I'll be honest with you, I don't know, I don't think those have been filed. I don't believe so.
Take care of it.
Okay.
Okay. On that, guys, I don't have a problem with any of these. You guys got any questions of these? We'll entertain them one at a time and just move through them real quick. You guys got any questions on any of them?
No, but I would like to bring something under comments at the end. that I would like to get an answer from you on an item that's ongoing right now in Los Alamitos Heights.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, would you stick around after we get out of our executive
Oh, yes,
session?
no problem.
Okay? Any other questions? Okay, let's go with it. I'll entertain a resolution for 1052 Del Norte.
Make a motion, we approve it.
Second?
Second.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Next one, 14-1448, 118 Pat.
Make a motion to go ahead and accept resolution 14-1448, 118 patent.
Second?
I'll second it.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Next one, 14-1449, 500 First Street. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept 14-1449, 500 First Street resolution.
Second?
Second.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Next one, 14-1450, 452 Jensen.
I make a motion, we accept 1450, 452 Jensen.
Second.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Next, 14-1451, 310 Anderman.
I make a motion that we accept 1451, 310 Anderman.
Second?
Second.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilor Dickens?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yes.
Go. Next.
The next action item is the revision to the Group 4 pavements. The properties that we found qualified are 316 West Stevens, 200 Black Mesa Drive, and 1022 Santa Fe Avenue. Two of the three are the ones that we had approved in our last approval of the abatement group. We added one additional, which is the 200 Black Mesa Drive, which we found to be more detrimental and more of a safety hazard than what we had seen of the others.
Where is Black Mesa Drive?
It's back up here behind Gobbledone Hill.
Oh, yeah.
We got it. It lends itself to all types of different crime, and we're aware of it.
Tammy, she still back there?
She went to her office, is that we will get her there?
No, that's okay. We'll go ahead and approve this, and then we'll move along. I'll talk to her about it later.
Which one's the one on Santa Fe Avenue?
That's the one that's the old,
Yeah, on the corner next to Latham's old building.
exactly. It's the one that's got the wall standing by
Yes.
itself, kind of teeter back there.
Collapsed.
Yes.
And this 316 West Stevens is the
One that
one.
Mr. Massey complained about
Yes.
up here by the fire and ice. And the reason we're only doing three, guys, is we're waiting for reimbursement for the super fund for the tear down of the wastewater treatment plant. And the fund that we had, we build up so much money every year. So if you'll notice the way that we've tore down these 54 buildings, is we have 1 year where we only do 3 or 4 buildings. And then the next year we do 10, 12, 15 buildings. And the next year we do 3 or 4, and then the next year we do 10, 12, 15. That's why where we're at, okay? This year, because we had such a big tear down last year, we're waiting for reimbursement. We're only gonna be able to get 3 right now. And then next year we'll have another big one, where I wanna get the old jail. Okay?
How long will it take before these three are?
That's what I was gonna ask Tammy. It shouldn't take long at all. It shouldn't take long at all. We should be able to cover
What's gonna happen to the Lex Theater once that building is done?
Well, it was, once the interior wall will be the exterior wall.
So it's just one wall?
Yes, sir. It's with one common marriage wall. So, and then it's a CMU type material, it's cinder block, so it's, you'll easily handle being an exterior wall.
So the common wall will stay.
Right. And we'll take out the 3 outside walls.
it. Back. Because the roof's already gone. Okay, I'll entertain a motion
Is
to.
there not a building in between the old Grand State Bank building?
Well, what's adjacent to it is, I believe, the Grand State Bank and then the Lux.
In the Lux?
Yes. In the very first one, I'm not sure what that building used to be.
I don't know.
I don't recall.
No.
It used to be a pawn shop a long time ago.
At one
Before
time,
originally, I don't know.
just late, I think the last thing was in there was like a second-hand store.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
I think they're still open, aren't they?
They moved across the street.
No, that was falling apart.
I'll entertain a motion for group 4 abatements.
I'd make a motion, we make a motion for all three at the same time?
Yes, yeah, it's just a group for abatement. We'll have to approve an individual when we actually do the abatement on it, we have to do the money, okay?
I make the motion, we accept the group 4 abatement revisions.
Cool, second?
A second.
Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Jenkins?
Yes.
Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Cool. Tell us about a dumpster, Mark.
Okay, the last, Your Honor, is it's been brought to our attention that Encino Avenue is just riddled with debris and trash. And actually, we've got that throughout the community, but it seems to really be emphasized in this neighborhood for certain. What we're recommending to do, or what was recommended that we do, is that we go ahead and place the dumpster and make an arrangement with the people that reside up and down within that block, that the dumpster will be available to them to dispose of whatever debris or whatever they have in their yard that's cluttering up their yard. And it's just a way of assisting and aiding the more of a depressed part of our community and getting rid of, or cleaning up some of their area. It's been about 3 years ago now that we had gone through there and made an arrangement with one of these streets that we were on Houston Avenue, that we would go in with a dump truck and a loader, and if the individual property owner would collect all their debris and whatever trash was in the yard in the piles, and the city would assist by going in and picking up and disposing of it, absorbing the expense of doing so. So essentially, we're trying to do the same thing, only this time we're not implementing the use of the dump truck or a loader. We're giving them the opportunity to have a place to dump all of their mess that's in their yard, which is being proactive with the community, and I think it's a really good idea. The neighborhood seems to really smile on it, and it worked pretty good the last time. So,
Which section of Encino?
it's going to be I guess it'd be the southern portion on this side of Roosevelt, the south side of Roosevelt.
It's where all the old traders are. and-
Yeah, the trader area. Exactly, the trader court area. Trader court.
East of Elm.
East.
But we've been trying to get a dumpster in town since I started here, and that this could actually be the first, where we start.
Yeah.
We actually have a dumpster in town instead of people having to go to the dump, when they don't have a vehicle to get there.
I think this should be a continuing.
Yeah, I think this is a good start.
We've been discussing this for a while.
I mean, that's the excuse you get anytime you go try to get somebody to clean up their yard.
Every other month.
They might not even have a pickup truck.
Just get them around, Yeah.
But it's funny, you see the city being proactive with these folks in the neighborhood, and they just, they're elated. They think with just what little the city is offering, that they're just, they can feel that the city's really helping. It's a positive thing to do.
So are we gonna advertise this?
I think that advertising would be essential, so go ahead and at least 2 weeks before we place it, run it a couple times in the weekend. This way that specific block is aware of it. It's like, it'll be open to anybody in the city who wants to go by there and dump it, I'm sure, but it's specifically for this block, so.
Then what we're gonna do here, Marty, is when we put this out, whatever day we're gonna do it on, you let them people know that it's coming that date, so they're the ones that can fill it up. And then next month, we can put it someplace else, and the month after that, we can put it someplace else. And eventually, like me and Paul were just saying, in one day, you ain't gonna be able to see that dumpster.
Right.
But if we keep doing this, eventually, we're gonna run out of crap to throw away, guys.
Hopefully.
Okay?
You want to avoid people from coming from out of town.
True.
Yeah, that's insane.
Rather than notify the neighborhood, maybe we could go ahead and send out mailings to that specific block. This way, they're the only ones that will be made aware of the specific dates.
Right. Have we
Hopefully we can
determined
control it.
actual location placement?
What I've suggested is what I've got on your map there. I haven't contacted the homeowner, but there, the property owner, there's an empty lot about towards the end of Encino there. And it's the only place really that's available to put a dumpster on that side.
So you're going way south on Encino?
So it's gonna be the southern side. There's no available parcel.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have a playground in that area, in that vicinity, and we don't want kids crawling in there and, all that stuff,
Maybe what I can do is come up with a couple of alternatives. Right now, as per our mapping, there's only 2 locations that are available, and one is on either end of it. And on one end, you probably would not allow us to, because he's involved in the engagement that we've got going on, so we probably wouldn't be real receptive. The opposite end that I suggested here is a gentleman out of Senator Fell, and I haven't made contact with him yet, but I think he'll be somewhat receptive. So it's probably 3 lots combined into one, and they're all vacant, so.
And we will have a person on site?
It won't be manned. I had intended for it to be manned. I thought we would just set it there and give them specific dates for that place. I've noticed for that area, the specific dates, once it's full, pull it out, and
It'll probably fill up in one day.
it'll probably fill
Can,
rather quickly.
can I, do we have the ability to send letters just to those addresses? Or should we maybe get some type of a door hanger we can just go out and make a
I
trip to
think
them?
however you prefer, we could do it either way.
I think at this point right here, we need to wait until we get approval from the private property owner
Yes.
to allow us to do it. So I say right here, we stop and we wait until we get that approval.
Could we possibly approve it
I mean,
contingent upon?
and here's the thing, Marty, is does the council actually need to approve this?
I don't know.
I don't think we do. I think that me and Paul can make this call. So as soon as we get permission, I would prefer it in writing, okay? And then we'll go with it, okay? And then we'll move
Well,
forward.
and I think the reason I brought that up,
Well,
Mayor, is
sure.
because it's a liability, it could be a
Yeah,
liability issue.
exactly, and that's why I want it in
So
writing.
we need to
Yeah.
do something to make sure that we're not liable in case something happens with us utilizing his property for disposal of trash especially.
I'll draft a letter that I'm going to send this gentleman, and I'll give it to you guys for your approval, just to make sure the language is correct. And then we'll make contact with him. We attempted to contact him today to know about what he was.
Are you planning on putting that more towards the Blue Slide area or over towards the beauty shop area?
This is going to be closer to, I'm trying to, probably the Blue Slide area. You got a map in front of you.
Yeah, well, I was thinking you could put it over towards the beauty shop, which I guess I'd put it between Del Norte and.
True, they would change the location.
See if you need permission for that area.
I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll let that be an alternative, and we'll see what's available out there. But I'm looking for just an empty lot.
Yeah, well, the whole way in
That's
there
true.
towards Roosevelt is empty lots. Don't know who the ownership is.
I can make that determination pretty quickly. So let me look at that, and if we have more luck contacting, we're getting approval for that.
Maybe you could hit 2 streets at once.
Yeah, not bad idea. Not bad idea. Okay, so I'll do just that. I'll go ahead and find an alternate location. And I'll make contact with both individuals and see which is accepted. And from there, we'll go ahead and draft a letter that moves the liability from the city or as much as possible. And I'll give it to the gentleman to sign and we'll move forward.
And make sure it's a release of liability letter, Marty.
Yes, sir.
Okay? On that note, we're gonna go into executive session. I will entertain such a motion.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Councilor Quintana?
Yes.
Councilor Sandoval? Councilor Bacon?
Yes.
Councilor Lewis?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, all of you that are leaving. Those of you that are sticking around, we'll be glad to see when you come out.
Do I turn it off?
No, we're back on the record. Comments, starting with you, Councilor Quintana.
The reason I asked Mr. McBride to stick around, I'd like the council to be informed of what's going on at Los Alamitos Heights, in particular to a driveway access that Mr. Matt Puduba and Sharon Puduba are acquiring. If you're familiar with this?
Yes, sir.
Can you fill us in with what's going on your side of things? Because I've met with the landowner on this, and it seems like they've already built this home, beautiful home.
Beautiful.
Now we're having problems wondering how they're gonna get to their property.
Actually, the way this thing is unfolded is the Pudaba's purchased parcel from the private individual that borders the subdivision that is the Los Alamitos Heights. And this situation seems to reoccur in a couple of the subdivisions that I've looked into throughout the city. And what it is that wherever you have a subdivision that borders private land, and it's the length of the block, not the front face where the driveway entrance would be in each parcel, it would be the side of it on each parcel, if you can imagine that. For whatever reason, back when these subdivisions were developed, wherever this situation occurred, where we found the private property, which would be unusable to the subdivision, the developer would only develop one half of the street. He'd develop the street from the center line of the street into the subdivision, and from the center line of the street to the outside of the subdivision, to the boundary of the subdivision. They wouldn't develop, they established the roadway, but they wouldn't do any finished asphalt work on it. And this is reoccurred on about 3 different subdivisions in the town. I don't really know the school of thought behind that. Maybe it was that they felt that the other half of the street wasn't needed because That was the boundary of the subdivision, and then the rest was private, so they never need access to it. I really don't know what the school thought was there. With the Poodabas, they are on Tumbleweed. They're on Tumbleweed, and Tumbleweed, of course, is one of the bounding streets of the subdivision. At the intersecting end of that is Los Pinos, and Los Pinos, if you were to continue outside of the subdivision, would be just a straight shot out of the subdivision.
It's a dead end.
Well, it dead ends at the subdivision, but if it were to be continued, that would be the street that they would continue.
Tumbleweed is what? Who does it belong to?
Tumbleweed is part of the city inventory.
It's a city
Yes.
route, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is within the subdivision that has got restrictive covenants that apply to it. So in theory, with the way the Poodabas should have gained access to their parcel, the most sensible means would have been to go down Los Pinos, such as two other developments that have taken place out there, one for Matla and one for Judge Olguin. They utilized the street that dead ended and they continued into their parcel. That would have been ideal for the Poodabas if that street would have actually been continued. But since it hadn't been, they opted to go ahead and gain access from Tumbleweed, which parallels the edge of the subdivision. Okay, so what the conflict is that there's an individual in the homeowners association.
Don't even say his name.
Who is it?
Not Reedy.
Mr. Reedy.
Holy cow.
Mr. Reedy felt that the Poodabas, being that they're developing off of what is a street inside of the subdivision, should develop or continue the development of that entire street, which is completely unrealistic, and there's no ordinance in this world or authority that would enforce that. So the Poodabas went ahead and gained access off Tumbleweed straight into their property, which is the most sensible means of access to the property. The only concern that I've got with that, number one, I'm playing the devil's advocate with these people. I mean, my office is not intended to settle disputes, first and foremost. We don't go out there and pick a side or calm everybody down. So I played the devil's advocate, and the most sensible solution that planning and zoning finally derived last night is that the only issue that truly existed there with the access that we developed is the floodplain issue. There's a ditch that runs along their fence line, which is the border of the subdivision. And there's a natural drainage that goes through there from parallels Tumbleweed, and then goes into Los Pinos, and then drains off into the field.
So what's the fix?
The fix was, and finally what we decided would be the most sensible fix, would be to go ahead and have them submit to us a temporary situation, the Poodabas, which would be a culvert pipe, which would accommodate the conveyance of the water from one side of their access to their property to the other, therefore not impacting anything upstream. And we were they suggested, planning and zoning suggested we come to council with a recommendation of possibly just even considering completing the completion of that street. And if the city decides, if you guys decided that this would take place, at that point, the Poodabas would then go ahead and develop what would be a standard access to that property, be curb and gutter for the length of the width of actually the actual access, which would be about 21 feet overall.
So Matt, okay, hold on, this just really bugs me, but, no. And
yeah, we can see that happen.
If you guys want to, please make a site visit, and you'll understand why I'm saying no. There's no reason for us to do any type of upgrade on this roadway. This roadway is not even utilized for anybody. It's the roadway that actually, it's right in front of the property owner's entire length of property.
Well, there's two
pretty
other
much.
parcels that are
Right.
visible.
Now, the thing is why do we want to go do that? The property owner already has come forward and said, I will put a 24-inch culvert or whatever you require, build it up with whatever he needs to establish his driveway, right? And proper radiuses and whatnot, allow the water flow to go through the culvert and not disturb anything through there. And all he wants is simple access to his home.
What we need to do, if he's gonna be adding culverts for drainage or storm drainage and stuff, we need to have our engineers look at it.
And that was my next thing. Thanks, Paul. I recommended to them exactly that. I told them I can have our engineers just go out there and take a look and see what their recommendation is on this. They don't have a problem with that. The problem is coming from that homeowners association
And it's not the-
requiring
it's not the
the
homeowners.
city to go and upgrade that roadway. No, thank you.
The reason for clarity's sake, the reason that this wasn't, that I didn't present this as an action item to my planning and zoning board, it was simply a discussion item.
No, and I know.
Was because I told Reedy that in order for him to represent the homeowners association, that he needed to come to me with letterhead to show that this was an action item that was voted on by the board, because it's a public hearing, it's a legal situation just like this is. And if they decided, if they voted or ruled in favor of this, then we would present it as an action item. Otherwise, he would be just a private citizen coming in, making a discussion in regards to this. And so this is how we handled it and how my board.
Marty, what I would like to see is no hangups with this. Let's
Yeah.
get these people access into their home. They're getting ready to move in at the end of
I
August.
understand.
And there's no reason for us to hang up wondering what the heck we're gonna do as a city to do to this roadway. There's no maintenance required.
Right. And that there is in fact infrastructure in that street, which is an investment that was donated to the city after the development, so it's the city's investment. So there is an issue of protecting this investment, so the best way to do that would be to complete the street. But I agree, there's really no need for it. And the reason that we took this, we're not, my planning and zoning board is pretty familiar with how this would have been received. And so what this did for us is the agreement was that if in fact you guys decide that we're gonna complete this street, at that point, the Poodabahs would be responsible for creating the proper access into their property, which would be a curb and gutter apron, and so my planning and zoning board, knowing that this would be received like this, knows that this will never happen.
Marty, go out there and look at
I've
the
been out there
area.
multiple times.
There is no sidewalk and curb and gutter for access to other people's property in that area.
No,
Why
I'm
are
not
we
sa-
gonna make them
I'm
do
not
it?
saying that that's what they need to do. What I'm saying is that that was our way of delaying it, knowing that you guys would never accept this. Therefore, the end result would be they'd never have to place.
So why are we causing so much conflict with it? I don't
We're not causing
understand.
conflict. I'm playing the devil's
Not
advocate.
according to them.
Yeah.
I met with them on Tuesday night,
I'm
or
playing the
last
devil's
Thursday night, should I
advocate.
say?
I'm playing the devil's advocate with these people. It's either that or they're gonna meet Matt Reedy someplace and they're gonna roll around, which doesn't matter to me either way. But when they both show up to my
That's
office.
their property. That's city,
I realize
city
that.
roadway.
I realize it.
I got a question.
And Mr. Reedy needs to keep his nose out of it.
Basically, yes, you're right.
I got a question for you. Why wasn't it called the site plan?
It was, they came to us and.
But the house is built now and we're
Yeah,
ready to hear
right.
it.
No.
I brought that up.
Yeah, no, this was addressed way before they started, because they came into us for plan approval. And so we made mention that there is gonna have to be some form of access designed and developed, and they agreed, and they said that they were gonna discuss it with the homeowners association, which, whether they did or not, they obviously did, because the next visit I had was from Matt Reedy, up in arms, and he wanted them to do the whole street, they wanted to do all of this. And so at that point, all we could do was, the only issue that I have with this thing, and not even an issue, the only concern I've got with it, and I still have until they resolve it, is the impact that they're having on the floodplain. And if they do this development of the culvert to convey water from one side to the other of their access, then there's no issue.
Did you take a look at, I mean, even today, I went
I've
today
gone
after
out
the
there
rains.
repeatedly. Yeah.
Well, after the rains, and we didn't
Yeah.
get a whole lot, but we got a lot.
Yeah.
Did you see where the water was at?
Did you see where the natural flow lines are? Okay.
Yeah. Did you see the ponding?
No, I haven't, since today rain, no, I haven't.
There's no ponding.
Well, there is
You
a-
know,
Are you guys
and I-
referring to the house there by the big
Yes.
steel barn?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful development.
You know, and-
I don't want to discourage them in any way, shape, or form. I don't know what they told you, and I really don't care what they said. I know what took place in our meeting, and I know how I've handled both of them, and I've handled both of them with kid gloves. I haven't enforced anything on them except for the possible impact, adverse impact that they may have on floodplain. That's the only issue that I have.
And is there any, do you think? Be honest,
It has
Marty.
the potential. If they had a 100-year flood, yes, there would impact
Yeah,
the street.
well, it's just,
Yeah, chance to-
yeah, that's 100.
It's gonna impact everybody.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that in 100 years.
It's gonna
Yeah.
impact
But
everybody.
Let me tell you something.
that's how we design and build everything.
My point of view on this, and representing District 1, we need to not cause any problems with this property owner on them getting into their new home. Whatever they need, we need to do it the right way, but they need to get
We
it.
have worked with them
Michael,
completely.
the last house that was built previous to that, they're accessing in Sackler.
Right,
Yes.
which is an illegal access.
It's an illegal access, actually.
Right.
That's where.
They're,
Yeah.
you know, the Poodabahs have basically done everything.
No, and they have, and I appreciate them completely.
They want to make sure they have the right permits, and everything available. Now they're having, and I know it's not coming from you. I know where it's coming from, okay? But I'm just telling you, on your end, we need to not, hold back, and we need to move forward and allow them to move into their homes and enjoy it. They're willing to do everything that we require them to do, other than, I don't see them putting in curb and gutter or extending that roadway at all.
I don't either. But what that did for us in that meeting is that it appeased the opposition. Us knowing in planning and zoning that you guys would never consider that, it appeased the opposition, and it gave the Poudre no interference from the homeowners association. So playing the devil's advocate in here actually worked perfectly, because they're getting what they want and they need, and the opposition is backing off saying, okay, well, if the city does it, then we will. And knowing damn well that the city has no interest, they will never.
I'm hoping that's what he's doing.
Beautifully. What he needs to do is, if he wants action on this with planning and zoning, he needs to come back, not representing the board, but as the board, in action from the board. So we've cut him off at the knees, and I don't know what the Poudre have told you, and it doesn't matter. But I know that we have been very proactive with them and have not detained them one day. Their house is complete, they're almost ready to move in.
Right.
And they've got an access to their property. All they need to do is put a culvert there to make sure that they don't adversely impact any floodplain.
And they're doing what they want to do.
And they agreed to that last night. They
But
said,
we don't have no hangups on our end, I'm good.
oh, no. And I still, because of my board recommendation, I'm gonna have to bring to you guys the recommendation of completing the street. And I expected it to be met with, hell no. And that's all well and fine. And that means that they will not have to even worry about any type of concrete access to their property, curb and gutter or otherwise.
Sounds like it's all.
It sounds, I'm hoping.
I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page.
No. I've got a great deal of respect for the Poudre, and it doesn't matter if it's the Poudre or Mickey Mouse.
Sure.
We're trying to move this thing forward for them as best possible. So I apologize for whatever conversation they had with you.
No, it was positive. There was nothing negative about you. I mean, it was brought up about the other.
Well, unfortunately, we've got somebody there that has got a bone to pick up, and hopefully we have found a common solution.
Thank you.
I know that when it becomes an action item, when it's brought up on the planning and zoning, they will be present.
Yeah.
I'll get with Marty and our engineers and the Poudre, and we'll look at that over there, that drainage.
It'll work.
Anything else, Mike?
That's it.
Ruben?
Thanks, Marty, for saying that.
Not a problem. Thank you, guys.
Where are we with vector control?
They started.
They're on it. Did you see the letter to the editor the other day complaining that we were spraying mosquitoes and killing the bees and killing their dogs and, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they, I got an email from Paul, Dr. Sandoval, and he started the applications on July 1st. We settled on a contract of $13,000 a month for July, August, September, 3 months.
So I was going to make a suggestion that where we might take a order someday, that we can actually have someone follow us and see what so that we can learn what they want to do, possibly, or they won't allow it. Can you ask
We'll have a choice if we put Paul.
I can ask him, but in getting that subcategory on my license, you learn what that is. You know what you're doing.
So you
or you don't, you don't get that license otherwise. Yeah. It's pretty, the test and things and the study material is pretty in-depth. It's like a college course.
How about that? Okay, the speed, reducing that speed limit by limits. Talk to Manuel about that?
Yeah, he's getting, he didn't want to do it with the old cold mix he had because he says it's not good, and so he was getting new cold mix this week. But I'm sure that with these rains and stuff, but he was supposed to be getting some new cold mix this week, and he'll be doing that one. Yeah.
Eddie?
I just got one comment. I've lived in Grants pretty much all my life, and this past 4th of July is the first time I've ever seen Waste Management, previous garbage company, any of them ever pick up trash on a holiday, and it surprised all the neighborhood, and half the people didn't get their garbage picked up.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw there, because I get my trash picked up the same day that you get yours picked up. The truck driver getting out of his truck, going up and pulling trash cans down to the road. I watched him do 7 of them on my street.
They didn't do it on our street or the next street.
You must have pissed him off then, Eddie. What'd you do to the driver?
I got mine picked up. I got excellent hearing. I heard him coming down the road and I went running out. But a lot of people didn't get their garbage picked up.
You know, and the thing about that is that all they gotta do is, well, they can't call the city on the day.
No, they expected to put it out the day after.
They picked it up. They picked it up though afterwards. They picked up the trash afterwards. It might.
Not in our neighborhood, they didn't come on the 5th, which was Saturday. They didn't come on the 5th.
Well, I'll tell you right now, guys, working for the Solid Waste Authority, the only 2 holidays they do not pick up on, Christmas, New Year's.
Well, they need to put that out in the paper then, because people didn't get their garbage picked up.
It's been that way forever, but that's okay. All they gotta do is call the city.
Do they, they'll
They'll back and pick you up.
they'll pick it up if they didn't make the pickup.
Yeah, make the pickup. All you gotta do is call down to the city on Monday.
Yeah, if they didn't, did you get some complaints about it?
Yeah, I got a few complaints.
Did you? Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
No problem, Mike.
Yeah, let them know that they just need to.
Call the city and they'll come and get it on Monday. Whenever they miss it.
I was surprised.
It's in their contract. It's in their contract.
What's the status of the walking bridge at the Riverwalk, at the amphitheater?
I met with Wayne on that Monday, I believe, yesterday, or, no, Friday, must have been Friday. And we decided, I told him that we wanted to build those handrails the same way that they're built on, there's another bridge, I think a little ways this way, they're really solid and things. And so I told him, I said, get some bids from contractors to build them this way, because we talked about some different ideas to do there, but we went and looked at those other railings there, and those other railings are really solid. I think they're railings that he said that Paco did.
And then they would match.
And they would match, yeah.
Is Paco in this town?
Yeah.
Let's get a price from him.
Yeah, we had gotten a price from him before, and they did all that just before I came in here, and I couldn't believe they really did a bad job of that. So, not him, it was another contractor that got the price on it and did it. And it wasn't him, all the jobs he did, those were the ones that were
Good.
done right.
Well, let's get it done because that bridge is closed. You can't cross right there.
Yeah.
When you're walking at where the amphitheater is.
Yeah, so he's getting prices on those.
You know, our own maintenance man is a welder. You might even look at him to do a little higher.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's been like that for a month. I mean, me and Eddie took a welding class together last year. We could do that in 3 days.
You mentioned a guy named Paco, right? He's
Yeah.
our welder, actually. But I found out that our maintenance man, Joe, is a welder. So you might look at him.
I don't really care who does.
Well,
Right.
he's filled up this summer, so I got him painting buildings and stuff, so.
Michael got one thing else.
Did you get any phone calls, Mike, about the Riverwalk here? There's a location where we have it fenced off.
That's
what he's talking about.
I know that one, but there was kids getting trapped under there.
Yeah.
So I got the same phone call,
Oh, yeah.
so. I
Yeah.
wanted to-
See, those
And then I called
kids
Paul.
use that as a shortcut going
I
across
know.
there from on road, and he
His bike-
called me on it, yeah.
His bike was stuck under
Yeah.
it along with himself.
Yeah. Wayne found him, didn't you find him there, crying, something?
Yeah, the guy did.
It was Hanky, wasn't he?
He was.
I just wanted to see if you got that.
He was, yeah. Mike called me.
Oh, that's funny.
He got his bike in, he couldn't get it out.
Yeah, I got a couple things. The first one is, the police department is fully staffed minus the chief. That's the first time that has happened in forever. And everybody said, raising the wages, doing the bonuses, would never make it happen. Guys, we made it happen, okay? We're fully staffed, we're gonna hire a chief very soon. We've got a really, really good one that applied, that I hope really gets the job.
How many
We got a
people,
couple
how many
good
do we
ones
need to
up
send to
right
the
next
academy?
We've got a couple good ones, guys, retired state police, we got good outside eyes.
How many officers are we gonna have to send through the academy?
None.
None.
They're all certified, we've got them in line right now.
Good.
Oh, we got one, we got that one young kid, we got one that's absolutely captain.
Still, that's not bad for
Yeah, it's not
5
bad.
positions, 6 positions, whatever it was.
The second thing I got, Paul, is our track coat is in Milan right now, right? How much longer do they have it?
I don't think it's very much longer. I think a few more days, depending on the rains.
Okay, because as soon as we get it back, we need to get it in at the head of Nimitz.
The head of Nimitz?
Okay, right there where Nimitz.
Yeah, we need to do it the Riverwalk too, where it's choked down to
Yes.
a nice street.
You do that one first, and then get it down there where the two Ys, the Grants Channel and the Rio San Jose
Yeah.
come right before Nimitz.
Okay.
These last two rains brought in a bunch of mud there, and it's choked it up a little bit, so we need to get that out, make sure it's flowing. And the last thing I got is the Fifth Street pump underneath the bridge over here. What's up with that pump? Do we need to replace it?
I thought we already
I
had.
thought we had to, but.
Let me find out.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of water. Manuel called me this morning, and he went out, he got a call about water coming because of the rains, and he went out to where Roundy's Pond is out here, where Roundy's property is, that big hole in the ground, that was completely full. And so he said by 5, 6 o'clock tonight, he was expecting it to be here. And so he was gonna come out and put barriers here on Fifth Street here to keep traffic from going through there. And so I was gonna check now after we got done to go see him.
Yeah, let's see what's happening with that pump, and if we need to replace that pump, let's see if we can replace.
And Fred's asking for a bigger pump too, not just.
Yeah, and I mean,
replacement.
if that's whatever we need to do to take care of that problem.
Yeah, when I talked to him last year, I told him we need to have a pump in there.
Yeah, it's
We gotta have something good in there.
Yeah, because where we're at now is if, today, for instance, we were flooded out where you couldn't get under there, and then the railroad track stopped the train down there by San Jose Drive, I mean, down by Diamond G, and you were stuck. There's no way out of San Jose Drive from now.
And if we're trying to get a fire truck over there, that's
Yes.
a problem.
Okay? If that's it, I'll entertain a motion to close this meeting. So moved. Second. Counselor Quintana?
Yes.
Counselor Sandoval?
Yes.
Counselor Dickens? Yes. Counselor Lewis?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming, guys, and for staying.